girl, just one more time. Let's escape this moment. Lose track of the time that makes me look fine. Oh, pretty girl, where you gon' go? Got me lost in your world. Just want you to know. Keep back to the light. Let the time flow. Your heart feel love. Let the rhythm take control. Oh, Lucy girl, take my hand, let's sway, sway away. Sun to the night, go fade away. Take away. Every beat, just let the music play. Every moment, just like it was yesterday. Lucy, oh pretty girl, where you gon' go? Got me lost in the world, just want you to know. Keep back to the light, let the sound flow. Your heart feel love, let rhythm take control. Lucy, oh pretty girl, where you gon' go? Got me lost in the world, just want you to know.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Track and Ace. Really wanted to talk about this situation here, man, because a lot of people who are watching these games, they see what Kelsey Mitchell's doing, okay? And when I brought up a couple of times here this week that Lucy Olsen should replace Kelsey Mitchell, those people kind of wrote it off. Now, there was some people that came around to it. They were like, hey, man, I can't disagree with it. The team should go in a younger spot. And I think that's what a lot of the stubborn people are not getting. They're not getting the fact that Caitlin Clark is only 22 years old and that Kelsey Mitchell is about to turn 29. They do not see that. They just see somebody that's balling, and they're like, and they don't even realize she's a free agent. Like, they see someone that's balling, it should be on the way out of here, right? And I think what happens is when you don't see somebody play, right? Like, most people haven't seen Lucy Olsen play at Villanova, so they have no idea what this girl can do. This girl has a chance to be better than Kelsey Mitchell, in my opinion. I really do. I think her ceiling's higher. She's younger, so that means she's got a lot of room to grow. And I like when you got talent like that, even though it's not a proven talent, I think you have to ride with that talent that's a little younger. And when you look at the core of the Fever, it really should be Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Lexie Hull, and then Lucy Olsen if they draft her. So that's a pretty good talented young core. And then you can add Satu Sabali to it in the offseason or whoever. You really do got like a nice nucleus. And if you can't get Satu Sabali, you get a teammate Maddie Segrist the season after that. Because Maddie Segrist can ball. I can't wait until she comes back. But overall, man, I think for the Fever, you can make a lot more moves because you won't have to re-sign someone that's so expensive like Kelsey. Kelsey Mitchell is literally in the top 6 of free agent salaries, right? Top 6. That means she's super. And this is a stacked class in 2025. A class that includes Breanna Stewart, right? And Alyssa Thomas. Like, this is a stacked class, right? So for her to be in the top 6, it shows how expensive Kelsey Mitchell is to keep. And you don't want like an Asian veteran. I mean, she's got one more year in her 20s, man. And then she's going to be 30 and over. Like, you don't want that, man. Especially if you're trying to build a dynasty. Like, people are not realizing Caitlin can literally have a dynasty on the Indiana Fever, winning like 3 championships or more. And I always go back to like Magic Johnson, right? He came in the league and he won the very first season, right? He won the chip the very first season. But then there was a period where he didn't win, right? And it was because the team that he was on when he first came into the league was already established and it was old, right? Some old guys on that team. And the Lakers finally got around to drafting guys who were closer to Magic Johnson's age. And they were able to win, a few more titles later in the decade, right? So Magic ended up getting, 4 titles? And none of that's happening if the Lakers did not restructure that team. I also look at Kobe, who wasted a lot of time in his career because he could have had like 7 or 8 rings because he was on such a good older team early in his career. He won those first 3 titles with Shaq and all the other guys, but it was an older team. And so when that older team was done, Kobe had to go at least around 6 seasons without being able to win a title. The team will eventually get back to championship contender status in 2008, but then they didn't win until 2009. And he ended up with 5 when he could have ended up with 7 and 8, like I said before. But those years in between, Kobe wasted a lot of time because he didn't have players that were close to him in age. And so you got to be careful when you're building teams to rely on older players to get you over the hump. Yeah, it'd be nice for Caitlin Clark to win a title in her first year or two with Kelsey Mitchell. But don't you want more? Don't you want Caitlin Clark to win 3, 4, 5, 6 titles in her career? That's not happening if you're keeping Kelsey Mitchell on the team, right? You need a younger player next to Caitlin so that she can literally be in a dynasty mode. And that's why you got to choose the right 2 guard to be next to her. And it's got to be somebody younger. Somebody at least under 25, bro. Because the perfect thing about Boston and Lexie Hull, that they're under 25. I mean, Lexie Hull is about to turn 25 in a few weeks, but still very young. Nowhere near 30 just yet. She still got 5 more years until she turns 30. So you got a lot of time, and 30 doesn't mean that's the end. I mean, that you're still dead set in your prime when you turn 30. I mean, you really don't start falling off till about 32, 33, 34. It just depends on your injury history, how long you could go. And how good a shape you're in. But the thing about it is that, in my opinion, when I'm looking at Lucy Olsen and everything that she can do, this is the perfect ally and perfect sidekick in that backcourt for Caitlin Clark. Perfect. She can do everything that Kelsey Mitchell can do. She just needs to add the 3. That's the only thing that she needs to develop. She's already a better defensive player than Kelsey Mitchell. So you're getting a plus over there. Size loves her defensive players. Now, even if they draft Lucy Olsen, I don't think Lucy Olsen will start. We know how Chrissy Saz is. She loves her veterans. She will not start. That's the only bad thing about Lucy Olsen, if she comes to the league, she's going to be on the bench like Grace Berger. And I think, in person, I think Grace Berger should be playing, by the way. Grace Berger is really good. I don't know why she's not playing. She should be playing. But anyways, Caitlin Clark and Lucy Olsen, to me, will be a cheat code in the WNBA. That's a cheat code combination. That's like D. Wade and LeBron James when they're in Miami. That's a cheat code. That is literally a cheat code. Someone with that higher horizons like a Lucy Olsen, I'll never forget that one scout. He was like, when he was glossing over Lucy Olsen, he was like, man, Lucy Olsen, man, when she goes to Iowa, people gonna see how good she is, man. And her ceiling is just so high. He was not wrong, man. This girl, if you watch her Villanova highlights, and that's like a third of the player that she's going to end up becoming. Like, that's not even like the full developed product of nowhere near it of what Lucy Olsen is going to end up being. Like, this girl is literally going to be something special. And I think she's already overlooked as far as scouts. They're all like paying attention to the usual suspects, South Carolina, LSU. You know what I'm saying? They're not even really paying attention to Lucy Olsen like that. That's why she went to Iowa, so she could get some more eyes on her. She saw what had happened with Caitlin Clark. Iowa's still a Big Ten school, so they're going to get a lot of games on TV. And I think Lucy Olsen made the smart decision leaving Villanova to get some more eyes on her so she can maybe get in the draft. And I'm like, hey, keep it like that. It'll allow the Fever to actually go get somebody else in the first round and then get her in the second round. And she'll be a second round steal. You know what I'm saying? Because in a way, I really don't want Lucy Olsen to creep into that top 10 because then the Fever can't grab her. You know what I mean? I I actually really want Indiana to actually go draft Hannah Stokey, Caitlin's teammate, and I can see her being in the top 10. They don't have her in there right now. Like a lot of the mock drafts you see, man, they sleep on these Iowa players, bro. Just like they slept on Caitlin Clark before last season, man. They slept on her. They slept on her. She was not on a lot of those. Like if you go back to 2022, a lot of them did not have Caitlin Clark as a number 1 pick of the draft, and look where she at now. So I wouldn't even pay attention to that. I wouldn't even pay attention to these mock drafts, bro, because they have no idea. A lot of them are clueless when it comes to Lucy Olsen, just like these Kelsey Mitchell fans, bro. They're clueless. They're very clueless. Like Lucy Olsen, if you watch her highlights, she's a damn sniper. This one dude said she wasn't a sniper. I'm like, nigga, is you watching the goddamn highlights? She's a sniper. And she shoots all 3 levels, and she's going to get better at the 3-point shot, just like Lexie Hull. Playing with Caitlin Clark, and that's the thing too that I look at with Lucy Olsen. Playing with Caitlin Clark, she only going to get better. As old as Kelsey Mitchell is, I feel like Caitlin Clark made her better, bro. What was Kelsey Mitchell before Caitlin Clark came here, man? For all those people that want to gloss over Kelsey, what was she before CC even came here? She had to choose. She had a chance to prove herself many times in this league before CC came here, and she didn't do jack shit. Now she looks like someone when CC comes here. You know what I mean? So that tells me right there, you could be replaced. Whereas with Lucy Olsen, I think she could still be pretty good, not even being on the fever. You know what I mean? Playing next to Caitlin. But if you give her that opportunity to play next to Caitlin, that's like, to me, that's illegal. Like that's illegal, and it's not fair. It's not fair at all to have Lucy Olsen playing with Caitlin Clark, bro. Could you imagine? Like, Lucy Olsen already had a game this past season where she had 40 points. So just imagine she's playing next to Caitlin Clark. All them buckets she's going to get. Because like I said, the one thing, like I said, that I love what Lucy Olsen does, she has the mid-range. She has a floater. She can get layups. She doesn't struggle with that stuff. She's got a nice little fadeaway jumper, you know? And she can shoot some 3 balls, but like she needs to improve her percentage. She said she was like a little bit under 30% last year. She needs to get back, closer to 40. But she's like dynamic. Can dribble the ball, create her own shot. The girl is dynamic, man. The girl is really dynamic. And like I said, she's a little bigger than Kelsey Mitchell. She plays defense. I think she's a bigger asset for this Fever team, man. Somebody said that Grace Berger reminded her of her. I'm not sure about that. Like, I think she's better than Grace Berger. But Grace Berger is really good. But I think she's a little better than that. I think he's selling her short. Another person, not only Paige Beckers, who I see in her game, I think I see a lot of Bridget Carleton, especially like once Lucy Olsen adds that 3-point shot. Because Bridget Carleton, she's not afraid to get off the 3-point line and get a shot closer to the rim. So I like that. Lucy could also get to a weak side. Like, these are things that Caitlin's going to love about playing with Lucy. The only thing you could say is, man, you just wish Lucy would have came to Iowa last season when Caitlin was still there, so they could have gotten their timing down while they were in college. But they're going to have to figure it out at the pros. But eventually, though, you know, like in practice and stuff like that, like Lucy Olsen is going to be dynamic. And, hey, we saw how close Lexie Hull and Kaylee Lou Samuelson and Aaliyah Boston has gotten to Caitlin Clark off the court. This girl will be close to it too, man. And I like Lucy's attitude. Look, I'm not trying to be Caitlin Clark. I'm not, you know, don't compare me to Caitlin Clark. Like, I'm going to be my own player. I love that, man. I love the fact that Lucy Olsen set that straight. She's not trying to come in to Iowa and be Caitlin Clark. I love that, man. Love this girl's energy and her smartness, her maturity. I think she's gonna have a hell of a season this year, man. She's going to change some people's minds about that draft. And like I said again, I just hope she don't go high enough to the point where Indiana can't take her, though. Like, that's the only thing, man. I would love for Indiana to actually draft her in the second round. That way they could draft whoever, you know, another top tier player like a Hannah Stokey or somebody like that in that first round. But who knows? Lexie might end up going to the first round. Let's see. We'll see if that happens. But like I said, those two in the backcourt, it's a young backcourt. That's crazy, man. And a lot of people just don't see the vision, you know. And I compare, like I said, you know, I think a good comparison with Kelsey Mitchell is Monte Ellis, man. Y'all remember how things went for Monte Ellis, man. Monte Ellis was on the team, and the Warriors decided to get their core together, and they drafted Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And look how it's worked for them ever since. They put Steph with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. That's not happening if they held on to Monte Ellis. I can guarantee you something. Here's the crazy thing about the Warriors' history. They're not the dynasty they became if they would have kept Monte Ellis. It's the same thing that's about to happen with this Indiana situation if they decide to keep Kelsey Mitchell over getting a younger player next to Caitlin Clark. Y'all been warned. I'm going to just say that right now. Y'all been warned. For those of y'all that's all up on Kelsey Mitchell, you've been warned. You've been warned. If she decides to stay here, you've been warned. You've been warned. You've been warned. When you're crying about Caitlyn not getting 3 or 4 or 5 rings in the prime of her career, come back to this video and say, "Damn, that boy Ace was right. Ace was right about this shit." Because I know I am. I know basketball. Now, let me get y'all thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know if you're. You know, a lot of you guys might just be learning Lucy Olsen. You might be like warming up to her, like, damn, man, I like the way Lucy Olsen looks on these damn highlights, man. Let me see, man. But you know, let's see, man. She got a whole season at Iowa, and we get a chance to see it. And I'm gonna cover on this channel, so we're gonna get an even deeper look at how she's looking starting on November the 6th. So we'll see how that goes. But remember, I got a Patreon, y'all. We're going to be uploading some of the full Caitlin Clark games from this season. Select games, not all of them, some select games. I will be starting to upload them. I might get the first one up within the next week or two. It'll be the Sparks game from May. That'll be the first one I'm going to put up. So, and we'll put up some Lucy Olsen and some Paige Beckers games on there, man. Full games. It's a little easier to find women's college games than it is WNBA games. So, but I'm still going to post them on my Patreon, though. So make plans to sign up for the Patreon. And if you want to donate to the channel, I got a Cash App. $Sack Exchange is my name on the Cash App. And if you want to donate Bitcoin, scan this QR code on the screen. You can donate to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. I got other cryptos too, so you can just ask me down in the comment section if you got like some Ethereum or whatever like that. I accept that as well. Google and other donation platforms are accepted. Just let me know in the comment section which one works better for you, and we can work through it. And I thank anybody who donates, even if it's $1 or $2. I know all you guys we're all in the financial crunch where we would like to give away some money, but we can't. And I understand. But there's one thing you can do for free. You hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Tracking Ace.